Hey everyone, this is Phantom Celebi, and I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the stuff I had posted on Twitter from my birthday down to now, and stuff about the whole James Charles Tati thing. And I know at some point in my career, somebody will probably bring this up at some point, because that's how the internet is. But yeah, so a lot of people were a little annoyed that I defended James in that situation. But, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I know exactly what it's like to take your truths and have them weaved into lies. So, let me give you a little heads up on the story I'm gonna tell you. It's a pretty messed up story, and the funny thing is like, I took my part in the blame of the situation, but it was pretty messed up nonetheless. Okay, so when I was listening to the whole Tati James Charles thing, I thought back to a situation that had happened with me. I had a friend, she was my quote-unquote best friend, but she was a very different person behind closed doors. So, this girl, I will call her Judy. Judy was a pretty close friend of mine. She had promoted me to do well in high school, and she was a very sweet person. Well, that is what I thought, anyway. And Judy and me, you know, we were pretty close. I got to know her family. They were very sweet with me. They didn't give me any problems. And to this very day, I still love them, even though I'm pretty sure Judy had told them a bunch of lies about me. Because right after the whole argument thing I had with her, her sister blocked me, her sister didn't want to have anything to do with me, and I thought that me and her sister were good with each other, but it was just a mess and a half. So here's what happened. Me and Judy were living together for a little bit, and Judy, she decided, hey, okay, so at the time, I was not working, and I had told her, you know, I need you to, you know, give your landlord information for public assistance. So she agreed to it because I needed her, you know, okay, so that I could be added to the payments for the household because I was not on the lease. So I told her, in the meantime, I'll help you out, I'll do some cleaning in the house, I'll do some cooking, and I did as I had told her, but I was still getting a little annoyed. Mainly because she was not giving me the stuff I needed, and it had already been a month or two since I had moved in there, and I had told her, you know, Judy, hon, I love you, but like, I need that information for public assistance because they're gonna close my case otherwise. So, if you don't know anything about public assistance, whether or not you don't live in New York or anything like that, or maybe the public assistance is a little different where you live, this is how it goes. You need to have all your current information backed up, and otherwise they'll continue sending it to your other household. So I needed the information to be sent to her household, otherwise the landlord would not receive the money. So I kept on telling her, I need this stuff, I need this, okay. And the thing is, the lease itself was not even under her name, it was under her mother's name. But her mother was in, her mother was in a nursing home. Her mother was very ill, and she needed to be in physical rehab, and she had gone through a lot throughout her life. She was a very strong woman, and God bless her, she was beautiful. I mean, I have never cried so hard. The day she passed away was like a knife went through my heart, and I never knew anybody so incredibly wonderful in my entire life. She was like a mother figure to me. And it still hurts to this very day knowing that she's gone. I'm trying not to cry, but it was a really, really hard time for me. And I hope that wherever she is right now, she's with God and she's loved, and her family knows that she's missed, and it was a very hard time. But during then, I was very irritated with this girl because I felt personally, I feel bad about saying this now because, I mean, maybe, because people grieve in different ways, and maybe she just wasn't grieving the way I was grieving. But I said to one of my friends, I regret saying this, and I tried to apologize for it, but it was already too late by then. I told them, like, I don't feel like she cared enough about the death because she wasn't as upset about it as I was. And it was, like, I guess, really hard for both of us to deal with this, and every single time I tried talking to her about it, it seemed like she was off partying or doing God knows what, and she was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. She was sleeping with boys, she was going completely insane, and I guess maybe that was her way of saying, you know, this is how that is. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let any of this stuff, like, affect us, and we're gonna try to work through this, and we're gonna be friends, because that's how friends are. So at some point, I didn't even know this, but she was talking behind my back to my friends and telling them a very different side of the story, making it out to be like I was lazy, I didn't do anything in the household, I wasn't buying anything, I was mooching off of her, when in actuality, I was buying all the groceries with my food stamps. I was buying all the toiletries for the household, toilet paper, toothpaste, all the cleaners for the house, and I was doing all the cooking and cleaning. But the way she made it out to be was I was doing absolutely nothing, and I was living off of her. So me and her spoke a little after the funeral, and I said, well, maybe it would be better if I left. So she tells me no, she doesn't want me to leave. She said, we're gonna try to work things out, and I'm gonna give you all this stuff for public assistance. By then, she gives me something, but she gives me something that's incredibly inaccurate. So when I went to public assistance, they sent all the stuff to a household that was not the household I was currently living in. I lost my public assistance case because somebody was posing as me, and it really bothered me. I had to go back and forth to show everybody basically that these doctor's appointments and all that were not me, which was a horrible thing because in between that time, I actually had to go to the hospital because I was not receiving my lupus medications. And when I had spoken to her, like my friend Judy, when I spoke to her about it, it seemed like she didn't even care, you know? I was really sick. I was going through hell. And she was acting as if nothing was wrong with me. And I told her, you know, I might not be able to clean as much as I used to before because my body is very worn down. I'm with the situation with public assistance. And then she told people I was lying about that stuff and that I wasn't trying to get work and all that crazy stuff. She told all my friends about this, and she only showed literally what happened with Tati and James. She only showed one side of the story. So when I explained my side and even showed them proof of what was going on, they were back and forth with me. Some of them believed me, some of them didn't, because they were really close with Judy, and Judy was big with our friend group. And one of the guys that I thought he was my best friend, that he told me he was going to stop being friends with her, and that we were going to work things out, and he was going to help me out, and at the end of the day, he was talking about me behind my back with her. And he, like, I didn't actually stop being friends with him till well after this incident because I wanted to let bygones be bygones, but that was messed up too because, I mean, like, I was just, like, shocked that not only was he still friends with her, but he was just, he was a snake and a half. And he, like, even to this very day, he tries to talk to me on Instagram, he tries to be part of my life, and I tell him I can't be friends with somebody who has hurt me so badly. And he acts like the nice guy in this situation, but what he did still hurts me, you know? And, like, I tried to be friends with him after all of that, and him and his girlfriend were bad-mouthing me, and I would say I understand what James went through with this situation, because it really hurts when your friends backstab you. It really does, and I can relate to that. That's why I said to myself, I could never see myself, like, fully trusting her side, because there seemed to be stuff that was left out. And I feel that's the exact situation that happened to me with Judy and with my other friends. And I mean, there are even friends right now that I can't completely trust, because I know they're still friends with her, and that they still, to this very day, even though it's been years, talk about me. And I would say it has awakened a distrust in people, but also a thing for justice. I want justice usually half the time. I want to make sure I know the full story before making a complete judgment. And from what I was seeing in that situation, it seemed more like Tati was just trying to drag James into the ground for her own benefit. I could be wrong, because like I said, there are multiple sides to every story. And for all I know, Tati was telling the truth, and she just had, like, somebody talking up her ear, making her, like, more emotional and more insane by the moment. I mean, I've had people do that to me as well. They're trying to turn me against my friends because of situations. And I mean, no disrespect to anybody who tries to warn their friends of issues and all that, but I mean, like, if it's not your problem, don't get involved. That's my view on that. If it's not your problem, don't get involved. I actually think this is kind of cute, this outfit with the skirt. But yeah, like, I personally, that's why, like, when all that stuff was said about James, I did say this. I mean, if those things were true, there's no defending James in that situation. But it to me seemed pretty skeptical, because why was she bringing all this stuff up after the vitamin thing? And I was just like, okay, I'm going to say that the thing that bothered me the most in that situation was that Tati abandoned her baby, basically. Her friend that was, like, treating her like a motherly figure. And if somebody was like that to me, I would never do that. I would try my best to work things out. Yeah, I'm gonna change her thing to blue. Her hair is blue, so I want it to be blue. You know, keep her shoes red, though, because that looks like it matches. But yeah, like, a lot of what happened with me and Judy and the people in my life, it opened up my eyes to how messed up people can be, and that's why I was on that. But a more serious thing that I would like to bring up is I feel that social media and, like, people jumping the gun on things have happened. It's not just online, but in person and all that, and I feel, personally, we need to end this sort of craziness towards the people in our lives. We need to open up all possibilities and try to see each side of the rainbow. Not just the pot of gold, but the area where it started. All the stuff that happened, all of this. And instead of being part of this crazy this situation happened, that situation happened, and all that, I would have to say we need to talk about every situation. We need to open up our eyes to the truth and all truths, not just accept things for what they are. So I'm gonna say I hope that things get better for James, for Tati, for Jeffrey, for even Shane. I mean, I know they slightly dragged him into that too, which, I mean, I feel is, like, with them, it's... I feel with Jeffrey and him, Shane, that they shouldn't have even been touching that. They should have been far away from that. And I'm pretty sure these things would have blown over a little faster. But at the end of the day, it's not the situation that matters, it's the actions that came about with the situation. And so my point of view is, the real discussion is, we need to stop cancel culture. We need to stop people outing people and making people feel uncomfortable or anything like that. We need people to be brave, to be honest, to be strong, and work things out. So I'm gonna make this girl a friend of the world. She's going to be a good person, because that's what this conversation was about. She's gonna be a modest person, because I feel part of what goes on social media is ego. And she's gonna be an activist. Because we need to go out there and we need to talk about the issues of the world, and we need to forgive people and be upfront and honest about everything. And if Judy does see this video, she knows who she is, and the internet, even though they have heard my side, they definitely should hear her side too. Because every story has multiple sides, and I have said all the things that I have done that is wrong. I couldn't pay the rent. I couldn't, you know, deal with her mood swings. I couldn't deal with a lot of the stuff that happened, and I did badmouth her because I felt that she hurt me. And part of me doesn't regret it, because I feel the world did need to know this stuff about her, that she wasn't just this sweet, innocent girl. But I also felt like I don't feel like hurting my friends. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe for more spastastic content. And I love you guys. Stay awesome. Bye-bye. Mwah. Bye. It's time once again for my Phantom Squad top tier. These people are awesome sauce, and awesome sauce is the best kind of sauce there is. So I wanted to thank all those who were participating in all my polls, all my things on social media, donating towards my Patreon account, and being super duper duper awesome sauce just by being you. Anyway, these are the people who have been helping me out the most. These are the OGs, and they will be immortalized on the Phantom Squad top tier. So here you go. Here's to you, Jazz the Chameleon, Potato _ a bunch of numbers, Edie Rose 23, Cute Girl Sim, Calorie _ Akins, Malunix 5, Krista Sims, Benjamin GYT, Lovely Laura, Veggie Gamer, Base Shaman, EJ Black Dove, Trippy D, Ray of Sunshine X1, Sonic Jenny, Shipdy, Kaleda Sims, Prismatic Simmer, Sims Lena, Stray Shadow Cat, Francis Trotter, and Sims Lita. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I see you again soon. Bye-bye! Mwah!